it's really exciting to get going knowing the season is ahead. So today will be the first day official practice, and we'll see what happens.
What are you expecting based on what you learned in the summer? What do you know about this team now that you didn't prior to that?
Well, I knew we have to develop a point guard. We're going to have to do that with our backup center, Kayla Montgomery, going down with an ACL. We have to establish a backup center, and those are two areas we really got to, shore up. We have more numbers this year, where we'll be able to rotate some more, especially at the guard positions. And even at the forward position, we felt like with Avery Fields going out, we had to shore that up, but we feel very comfortable right now with who we have playing those positions.
For backup center, it's one thing to establish. Are you more procuring one out of thin air? I mean, how do you make that happen?
Well, we really don't have one.
Yeah.
So we're trying a couple things. Go small at times. And but if you go small, you're at a mismatch on the defensive end. But we got to make it a mismatch for them also. So we got to be creative a little bit when we go small and what we do defensively and offensively.
You still had numbers back then, but when Asia went down a couple of years ago, the situation then, did that at all prepare you for something like that?
Not really. We had Yaya Dunning, if you remember.
Oh yeah, as the starter. I'm talking about.
Oh, as a backup. Yeah, we went with the 4. If you remember, we went with Crystal Leary as a backup, and pretty much that's what we're going to have to do this year, go with the 4s as a backup.
When did you find out about Ray? When did the official word on that?
I mean, end of the summer, but we're still trying. We haven't gave up yet. You mean about getting her eligible? We have not given up yet. I won't give up till January, so we'll keep trying to push that issue. But, the worst case, she's not going to be eligible till January.
On the European trip, remind me what all you did at the point guard spot in those games.
We did a lot of stuff. Needless to say, we got Jessica Morton there some. We had Shania, not in Europe, but in practice some. We've had Shania Ray there some. And then we have a couple freshmen that we have looked at there. And, we still got to shore that up a lot. At the point guard position, all I need is just get us in our offense, play defense, and don't turn it over. And one thing we'll have this year, all the point guards can score a little bit, so that won't be the issue. It'll be turnovers and getting us in our stuff.
Is the Bordentown High girl, is she in the running at all?
They all are. They all are. I'd say Jessica Morton is the one, but I've got to have. She can't play 40 minutes, so the rest of them are all in the running, and we're going to try them all.
Maria, I know, set out mostly for precautionary reasons. Is she full health, ready to go?
Yeah, 100% ready to go. Looks good. I think she'll have a great year. I think we have some other people that can score this year, where it's not going to be all on her like it was a lot last year, her and Avery, where we can spread it around a little bit. We have more shooters this year than we had last year. So, I think we got other areas we can score on and not have to, rely on 1 or 2 people.
Did that become pressure for her at some point?
Yeah.
Can that account for some of the lulls that she had?
Absolutely. I just think, we went to her so much and expected her to carry us so much. Where I think she'll, I think she'll have a great year this year. She's in great shape. She's healthy. Again, I think we have some other people that can take the scoring load a little bit, whereas all the pressure is not on her at all times. She'll still see boxing 1s, triangle 2s, and that. She'll still see that this year, though. But I think we have some other people that can shoot from the perimeter that'll help us get the teams out of that.
Gotten used to it at this point, but first team preseason, all Big 12, what does that honor me for?
Well, it's great. There's no doubt she's one of the top 5 players in the conference. I think she's one of the top players in the country. So, I hope she has a great year. I know she will, and stays healthy and, help us win a lot of games.
Because of the summer practices and that trip, do you feel like you're a bit ahead of the game at this point? And at this point, what do you still feel needs worked on?
Well, I think if you look, we're like the 6th youngest team in the country coming into this year, and sometimes we look like the 6th youngest team in the country. But that's it, to be expected. Yeah, are we ahead? We're ahead because we had a lot of young players. Yeah, absolutely. I would think if we were a veteran team, they'd be bored a little bit right now. The younger players still kind of don't know what's going on yet, and that was great for them. And like we mentioned earlier when we went overseas, you know, I didn't play 3 or 4 of them, the veterans, and let the young kids play and let them make their mistakes and let them see, you know, how we play and that type of stuff. So I think it was very good for the young players.
This could be a positive or it could be terrifying for you as a head coach, but to know that so many new players and a lot of them will be expected to actually have a role immediately, do you see maybe a different response from them though, than knowing that, yeah, I may have just gotten here, but they need something from me?
Well, you know, there's times their eyes are gigantic, you know what I mean, and they got to get used to me too. I mean, you know, as I got to get used to them, they have to get used to me, my style of coaching. And, you know, I'm glad we're doing this media day right now before the season starts, because after the season I may be sitting up here with no hair, nothing. I may look totally different at the end of the season with all so many young players. But I'll tell you what, they have great attitudes. That's the biggest thing, and they want to get better. So if they have great attitudes and they want to get better, we'll continue to get better throughout the course of the year.
Roberson didn't play overseas.
No.
How is she coming along?
She looks good. She looks good. You know, she's coming off the ACL, and she's been cleared, 100% cleared and all that. So she gives us another scoring threat and a veteran player that knows the game. You know, she knows the game, how it's supposed to be played, and understands the game. So that's great to have her leadership on the floor also.
You'd be looking at her at what positions?
4 positions.
Any other questions for Coach?
Have you talked a lot about the rule changes with the players?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you'll see today we're putting in a sideline out of bounds play today, and that's because of the rule change. Before, I just get it in bounds and run a quick hitter or run our offense. Now, because of the rule change, you can advance the ball to half court in front of the scores table. That we better have some good sideline out of bounds plays, and so we're going to start day one on working on some of them. And then you have to teach your players, okay, after a foul shot or a made shot and you want to advance the ball, you take one dribble up the floor like you're advancing and call a timeout. You don't get it at half court. So that's going to be another thing that coaches are really going to have to stress during practice, and do game situations. I mean, we're probably going to do more game situations this year because of the rule changes.
You know, so you're still playing, still a 40-minute game, and obviously reconfiguring it with the 4 or 10 minute to use it. Not much of a
biggest thing to me is the 10-second count does not reset, and advancing the ball to half court are probably the biggest two that we have to adjust as coaches and the players have to adjust to.
I know with Katrina, I know you've been pleased with the strides she has taken.
Yeah.
She obviously somebody you're going to count on at the outside shot. What are your expectations for her?
Well, I mean, I think we have some good young freshmen in. I'm excited about the good young freshmen we have in here. I really am. I think some of them are going to contribute immediately, and they're going to go through some growing pains. Make no doubt about it. But I think they have a chance to be great players for Western University, and I'm excited about some of the young players we have in here. I really am. And it's just not their playing. It's in the classroom. It's in the community. It's their attitudes, their work ethic, their enthusiasm. You know, that I'm excited about that also.
Thoughts on the Big 12 this year?
It'll be tough as always. I mean, I don't think the preseason poll has come out, has it? I mean, I think you're going to have Baylor's going to be very good again. I think Oklahoma has everybody back, going to be very good. I think Texas has all kinds of talent returning and new players coming in, and you know, I think it's going to be a tough league again. and you know, we'll see what happens.